Today I ask Spirit, what cycle is the collective being asked to break, and what is the higher path available now? And honestly, this reading feels very deep because it speaks about transition. Not everyone in the collective is fully in the old energy anymore, but not everyone feels completely comfortable stepping into the new either. At the center of the reading, we have the Lovers and the Star as the higher path. And then the Four of Pentacles reversed and the Page of Wands reversed as the repeating cycle. At the base of the deck came the Six of Swords reversed. So immediately Spirit is showing me that many people are standing between two worlds right now. One part of you already knows your soul wants something more aligned, something more authentic, something more truthful. But another part still feels emotionally tied to the familiar. And this is exactly the Six of Swords reversed is speaking about. This card feels like wanting to move forward, but emotionally still looking backward. This transition is already happening internally. The awareness is already there. But there is still fear around fully crossing into the new chapter. Some people in the collective are realizing the old version of themselves no longer fits. Old environments, old mindsets, old emotional patterns, old identities. And Spirit is saying you cannot fully enter the higher path while constantly trying emotionally to return to what your soul has already outgrown. So now let's look at the higher path here. It came the Lovers. This is not only romance, this is conscious choice. So Spirit is asking, what are you truly choosing for yourself now? Because many people already know deep inside what aligns, what drains them, what keeps repeating, and what their heart is truly asking for. So the higher path is authenticity, choosing from the soul instead of fear, choosing alignment instead of survival mode, choosing truth instead of comfort. So the Lover says you are being called to make a real decision. Not someday, not when everything feels perfectly certain, but now. And then we have the Star. Beautiful. That's healing energy. The Star tells me that hope is returning to the collective. So some people are reconnecting with themselves again after a long period of confusion, emotional exhaustion, or feeling disconnected from their path. This card says your inner light was never truly lost. And Spirit wants the collective to trust themselves more deeply again. To trust their vision, to trust what they feel internally. To trust the direction their soul keeps pointing towards. So the Star is reminding you that healing and alignment are available, but they require openness. And now let's look at the repeating cycle here. It came the Four of Pentacles in reverse. This energy feels like the old structure is becoming already unstable. Some people are realizing they cannot continue controlling everything. They cannot continue forcing stability through fear. This reverse card feels like trying to release while still feeling afraid of the unknown. And this is important because the collective may feel emotionally caught between wanting freedom but also fearing what happens after letting go. Okay, some people may also feel insecurity around changing, around the change itself. Probably they ask, who am I if I leave the old behind? Or what happens if I fully trust myself? Okay, or what happens if I finally choose differently? And then we have the Page of Wands here that came in reverse. So this feels like hesitation. The desire for a new beginning is there. The fire is there internally. The vision is there. But there is still fear around fully stepping into it. So this card also speaks about starting and stopping, losing momentum, waiting for perfect certainty, or doubting yourself right before expansion. And Spirit is saying the higher path will always require movement before complete certainty appears. You are not meant to have every answer immediately. So the collective is learning how to trust the process of becoming. So overall, this reading feels like a threshold. The old cycle is weakening, the awareness is already present, the soul already knows the direction, but the emotional transition still feels uncomfortable. And Spirit is reminding the collective, growth often begins the moment you stop trying to return to who you used to be. The old cycle weakens the moment you stop feeding it.